The world is in bad shape and we need to fix it. And it's not going to be fixed by pointing the finger at somebody else or by waiting to be saved. You have to participate yourself. You have to be the change, folks. So my question is, when are we going to do this? When are we going to stand up and realize that we are all in this together? And that if we stand together, we can very easily address every single problem that we face. A lot of people, when they start discovering alternate media and alternate research, and when they start investigating what some people might term to be conspiracy theories, what happens is that a lot of these people tend to view it as almost like an adventure story. It becomes a sense of wonder for them. They stay in the first stage of awakening for a long time, and they're in absolute awe and wonder that all of this is going on behind the scenes that they never realized. And they keep waiting for the next installment. They keep waiting for the next little piece of information, because to them it's like watching a movie. But then as they see it all unfolding around them, they suddenly move into a state of anger. And then they notice that nobody around them is waking up, so they move into a state of fear. And they very much get caught in that stage, and they start screaming out to people, fear, fear, fear. And people start looking at them like they're nuts. And many people don't move past that point. And they don't get to the point where it becomes fascinating to them that the rest of the world is still asleep, that people simply can't see what's going on around them. And the best way, I believe, to get to that point is, as I've said, to understand what reality is all about, and understand how easy it would be to fix all this, to understand how powerful you are. And folks, you don't really need everybody around you to wake up. All you need to do is to stand up yourself and to address things yourself. If you can speak eloquently, speak fluently, look things square in the eye without fear, and simplify that which people make complicated, then you can stand up and lead by example yourself. A lot of people, when they write to me about the shows, they say, Max, it's like you're speaking the words from my own heart. And the reason that is because all I've ever really done on any of these shows is simply state the obvious. That's all I've really done. People tend to make things very complicated out there in the world when things aren't really that complicated at all. And I just try to simplify things and simply lay the cards on the table and state the obvious. And I believe that if people take this same approach and do this within their own society, within their own community, when they're talking to their friends and their neighbours, if they remain calm and simply state the obvious, then it becomes very difficult for people not to see what's going on. Because when you open your eyes and look, it is all quite obvious. It's just that people don't usually look in that direction. They're taught not to look in that direction by newspapers and television and all the social rubbish that goes on around them that they have to endure every day just to get through a day. Because we're taught that life is all about acquisition and paper and social status. So that's why you don't have to take to the streets to wake people up. You don't have to walk around with a placard or a bullhorn screaming fear, fear, fear. What you need to do is to lead by example, to stand in your power yourself and allow other people to see how easy it is for you to do so. State the obvious, ask questions and demand answers, but do it nicely. This is how you lead by example, and this wakes up the community around you, and before you know it, you've got a whole community standing behind you, all wishing to know the answers to these questions that you've asked. I believe that this is how change will come, folks. I don't believe it will come through violence. I believe it will come through righteous indignation, through people suddenly realizing that nothing has to be the way it is. I think we are at a very special time in history, and I really do think that we are going to see a change, but we have to participate in this change, folks. Don't wait for the world to be strip-mined around you. Don't wait for all the resources to be pulled out of this place. Don't wait for central banks to be installed in every country on earth. And don't believe that you are enslaved to corrupt government, because you're not. You are only answerable to God and to yourself, and we can change this world whenever we like. We just have to be prepared to stand up and do it. Well, I think we're getting very close to the end of the show here, folks. It has been a pleasure talking to you again. I do tend to ramble on lately on some of these shows, so thank you for bearing with me through all of my tangents that I seem to go off on. I don't really come in too prepared these days, folks. I actually almost missed the show today. I got my times wrong. So I think I'm actually lucky to be here talking to you at all today. It's been quite hectic around here actually lately. There's been all sorts of goings on, both socially, politically, energetically. There's been all sorts of strange things going on here where I live, and all sorts of strange things going on all around the world, as we've seen with the situation in the Middle East, as we are still seeing unfolding in Japan. My heart truly does go out to the people in Japan and to the people all through the Middle East, the people in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Libya, in Palestine, in Gaza. My heart truly does go out to all of you, and indeed to the people all around the planet. But again, folks, it's an opportunity for us all, so let's embrace that opportunity. I'd like to say thank you for listening to the show today. I'd also like to say thank you for all the emails and kind support that you send me. Thank you to all those who visit thecrowhouse.com. Any contributions you ever can make to the website are always sorely needed and greatly appreciated, and I thank you for anybody who has ever helped out and made a contribution to the website. Please do continue to visit the site. Everything on the site is there for you for free. The new film should be finished within the next couple of months, and that will also be up there for you for free. It's been a pleasure speaking to you today. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll look forward to speaking to you again next week. Goodbye until then. In Lakesh.